Good evening. This is Omonike. It is Sunday, February 20th. There's some things I want to talk about today. And this is about taking lemons and making lemonade. And yes, I have my wonderful notes here. So I'll be referring to them. All right. Now, what is this about? Taking lemons and making lemonade. Well, let's be real. We all know about inflation that's going on, right? There are things that we can not control, but there are things we can control. So I want to focus on the things that we can control, because when you control some aspect of your life, you can control the stress levels of your life. So, like I said, many are feeling the pinch of inflation. We cannot control gas prices. That's number one. And number two, we cannot control food prices. However, there are things we can control, decreasing the stress in our lives. For example, number one, when we talk about foods, we can consume less meat. Now, altogether, food is so expensive. However, meats are more expensive than vegetables. Chicken, beef, and fish prices are out. They're off the chain. They're just off the chain. Now, what I suggest, since chicken and beef are full of antibiotics, we can practice whole base meals. Okay? So I feel that we can, 6 days out of the 7 days, we can eat meatless meals. Now, if you go through my playlist, because I think I've been on YouTube like 2 years now, I have some cook. I have plant-based meals, right? I have the ingredients. I show myself cooking. I talk about this stuff. I talk about the benefits of having plant-based meals. So I think more than ever we need to go towards plant-based meals, and just eat, one like beef or chicken once a week. It's healthier for you. You'll lose weight. You'll have a more healthier family, because right now we're all gaining a lot of weight. Okay. So, like I said, you'll lose weight. There's benefits from that. Another thing, y'all, I spoke about this, and I remember speaking about this in June of 2021, when I said prepare for food shortages and hurricanes. Okay, this is when the Dollar Tree was truly $1. Now it's like $1.25. I spoke about stocking up on canned goods and ramen noodle. Now, this is for emergency purposes. It's good to have foods for emergency, not just emergency, but also foods you can barter with. Okay? For example, I do not like peanut butter, but I do have peanut butter in storage just in case I have to barter with someone. They can give me more ramen noodles and I give them peanut butter, right? Now, I know that a lot of people feel like canned foods are not good for them, or ramen noodle have a lot of salt. You can decrease the salt in the ramen noodle. You do not have to use the whole package. You can use half the package. Now, what I do, I like my noodles, when I eat them, they're firm. I like them firm. I hate it soggy. I will not eat it soggy. And I don't drink that liquid from it, right? I just need it as a slight seasoning. I usually put other seasoning in it like curry and vegetables. So that's just an idea, y'all, because about that time, man, stock up. Now, if you can, grow a garden, right? I tried the garden thing when I had a house. I was not successful with it, but there are plenty of people who are. Now, if you're in a certain climate and if you can grow avocados, that is the hot item right now. I recently went to Chuck's supermarket in Temple Terrace, Florida, and for an organic avocado, it is $2.50 for one Hass avocado. So if you can grow them, you can make some money or you can barter with them. So you can also control, as far as eating and foods, you could consider intermittent fasting, or OMAD. OMAD is acronym for 1 meal a day. Now, what I'm going to do, because I'm not going to sit here and explain it to you, but know there are benefits, I will link in the description channels which will talk about the benefits of OMAD and intermittent fasting. All right, but this is something that I use to control my weight as well as control my glucose levels. So, yeah, man, since food prices are so high, I highly suggest you train your body as far as eating 1 or 2 meals a day. I'm talking about adults, okay? That's number one. Number two, I'm not a doctor and I'm not your doctor. I'm a lab tech. I'm just telling you what I do to be safe, sane, and healthy. I'm just giving you guys suggestions because a lot of people are complaining about money, inflation. So I'm just simply giving you guys tips, things that I've been doing. So I'm not really complaining. I'm just trying to help y'all out. So, like I said, this is the perfect time to eat less. This is the perfect time to train your body to eat less. Right? Now, let's talk about the gas prices. Right? We can't control the gas prices, but there are things you can control. What can you control? You can control the type of car you have. You need to choose wisely. Now, of course, a lot of people rather have an Audi than a Honda, right? But let's say you were able to purchase one or the other. You were able to buy. That means pay in cash, okay? You also got to look at not just the price of it, but the maintenance of the car that you purchase. You know, so what will be better for you in the long run? Now, like I said, purchase, right? Let me tell you something. The goal is to own your car, okay? If you, and I know there's people that want to fight me on this. I don't got time to fight y'all on this, all right? I'm living all right, but I'm just letting you know. If you are making car payments, you do not own your car. I'm going to tell you again. Where I look, right here. If you are making car payments, you do not own your car. And it'll behoove you to pay it off as soon as possible so you can own your car. That's one less stress out of your life. That's one thing you can own. That's one thing you have control over. Because right now, if you're making payments, the bank owns your car. Those are facts. And with that, let's talk about control your spending. Okay? Now, the choice, of course, I feel cash is queen and king, but I also use a credit card. All right? I use my credit card for purchases because it'll protect my, if something is stolen or whatever. Okay? And then I turn around and pay that credit card off with cash from my accounts. Right? So let's talk about this credit card thing. There are certain people, like those who follow Dave Ramsey, and I followed Dave Ramsey for a long time. Dave Ramsey is against credit cards. And I understand. I understand that. But I use a credit card, right? You have to have control. You have to have discipline when using a credit card. If you don't have any type of self-discipline, do not use a credit card. Stick with your debit card, okay? Now, the goal of the credit card is not to pay interest, okay? You only utilize what you can pay off before the due date. For example, for me, let's just say my due date is the 7th of every month, right? It clearly tells you whether you have the app or you get it paper statement, whatever. It tells you, okay, you owe by the 7th this minimum, right? Ignore that. We don't do minimums. At least I don't do minimums. You don't do minimums. You pay that balance in full before that due date. So the due date is the 7th. So by the 1st, if the due date is on the 7th for $3,500, I'm sending on the 1st $3,700. So there'll be $200 extra, and it comes up as negative $200 because I'm sure by that time I might add $200 on there. I want it to reflect zero. Again, the goal is to use the credit cards and not pay any interest. I don't even know what the interest is on my credit card because I don't pay interest, so I don't care. I make it my business to pay by the due date. I don't care how busy I am. Matter of fact, not by the due date, before the due date. I'm trying to tell y'all. Now, another thing you guys can control is the media. What media? TV and the social medias. Okay? You don't hear TV on right now. Unfortunately, you hear the cars passing. All right? The only thing I watch here is HGTV. That's House and Garden TV. Why? Because number one, it's rated G. Number two, it's about having a beautiful, peaceful home. It's creative. You know what I'm saying? That's what I enjoy. That's what I love. It's nothing racial. It's nothing political about HGTV. Other than that, I have Facebook and of course YouTube, right? So I have a YouTube channel. Facebook, I also upload, like I upload to my channel. I have a page on Facebook about being safe, sane, and healthy. Other than that, is to keep in contact with my Army buddies, all that stuff. But another thing too, I keep that at a limit. Things I don't need to see will stress me out. Keep on scrolling. These are the things you can control. You can control about getting into some Facebook beef with people you don't know. For what? It's stressful. You don't know them. Let's talk about the TV. Even though I watch HGTV, when there's a commercial on, I turn down the volume. I try not to look at it. You know, you control what you see here, so you can control what's here. All right. So that's, that's all I want to say. One thing. Shout out to Faith, because she brought this up the other day, and I'm gonna talk about it right now. One thing you can control. You can control. One thing you can control is, as far as your household, you can control the people that live there and contribute to your household. Okay? Anyone who is able-bodied and able-minded should be contributing, should be working and contributing to your household, to the family unit. Now, if they're not able-bodied, if they're not mentally able adults, then they should be getting a check. And that check should go towards the household. Don't let people use you. This is not a time to take care of grown bums. I'm talking about the able-bodied, mentally bodied individuals, because I know there are people going through that. This is not the time. Like Faith said, winter is here. But you can deal with the things you have control. Handle it. All right? This is Omonike, Mama Max. I'm trying to keep you safe, sane, and healthy so you could chill out. Peace.